joining us from Central Portugal this morning. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Yeah, and
How are you?
And I woke up at 7:59, Carl. I don't know
Oh
if
no!
I don't know if you were able to discern that from the messaging, or was I entirely
No.
professionally unable to?
You are completely professional.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being a pro and being on time and on site as requested, unlike myself here.
Just trying my best.
Yes. Where are you? Let us know if you will, please.
Yeah, this is we're up in Barabasha. This is a farm here that I'm currently helping to hopefully sell, and it's called Quinta de Sitio de Ponvelha. The situation of the old bridge, I guess, as a Quinta.
Oh yes, very good.
Yeah, and it's lovely place, amazing, big villa. You can see behind me there.
Yes, very nice.
And it's 3 hectares with river frontage and 5 other houses, stone ruins that are being
Producing your own.
converted. And it's a stunning place. Yeah,
it really is. I'm gonna roll some VT in the background while we ask you a few more questions. Fantastic. It was a video I made, but I'll just kill the sound on it so that we can. It's a short, made for maximum effect and eyeballs. But as you can see there, it's an old lagar, isn't it? Which is an olive press mill, and that's all in good working order, is it? You can actually power the mill from the river next to the property and create your own olive oil from olives that you've grown on the site.
I mean, it will require the new owner to convert some of the actual machinery inside there to rework it. But the stone mill is there. The wheel is working. It needs clearing on its channel because obviously the water is diverted from the river nearby, which is, in Portugal, it's not such a guarantee. And this particular situation comes with it's like a legality, a license to permit the water to be taken from the river, used. Obviously it returns to the river naturally, and that in itself is quite unique. Actually, it's not as common as you think. People that have river sides to their properties, don't actually have the access to do that. They can swim in the river, but they can't take the water from the river, and that's what this particular property has as a sort of an extra, advantage to it. There's some of the ruins behind me there, so they've been recently semi converted with wiring and plumbing. And
I see that from the video. Yeah, there's a huge renovation. Well, that's part renovation, isn't it? But there's a huge opportunity here with the buildings that are on site, and that's an entirely separate building from the main house, which you can see a little glimpse of there. The house itself is what?
I'll come down here and show you the house behind me there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How many bedrooms have you got in the main house?
4.
4. It's a T4.
But what's amazing about the main house is it's sort of like it looks like a villa from behind. You can see the sort of back of it there. But actually, it's really more like a bungalow, and with a very, very large, like a full length of the whole house. There's one room upstairs as well, through a proper staircase. Sort of a twisting old mahogany wooden staircase, which I can show you later. But so it's actually a very surprising space inside. I mean, it's not the most modern of buildings, but it's not as old-fashioned as some of the houses you come across in Portugal that have come on market.
The sweet spot, perhaps. Not really old with some of the most primitive building methods, but not one of the new ice cubes or sugar cube styles. Oh, so what's this?
Not like that modern. Exactly.
I'm going to give you a full screen here. So what's that? Is that the building you referred to that's part refurbed in the back there?
Yes. I'll wander down there as well and show you that now. It's quite beautiful. I mean, it's surprisingly sort of cleanly. I was very impressed with the work that's been done. Actually, it's because there's 2 more at the back of the property. I mean, this is the gar through the trees here, right at the back of the corner. You can't see from here. It's 3 more. I mean, really, basically, they're large rooms that are sort of sold as individual properties because they have actual separate licenses, habitation licenses, which out here in Portugal is a big issue for property purchasers. Having the legality to live inside the building, because there's lots of buildings, but can you live in them? And a lot of these are pre-51, which means they're they were built before 1951, obviously. And there's a sort of not a loophole, but a freedom to be able to do more work on them and convert them into properties to live in without actual applying for full-on planning, as it were. Here we go. Here's the,
isn't that beautiful? And you're used to it. It's like the water you swim in. But that backdrop the Beira Baija, where you live, is absolutely stunning, isn't it? You're just walking about nonchalantly there, but to us city slickers and coastal dwellers, that's a very different Portuguese landscape as well, isn't it? It looks absolutely beautiful.
It really is. I mean, it's a funny thing because obviously, well, you can see behind me up there. Hopefully, you can see there's the mountains, the mountain ranges of Gardunias, and obviously, you know, recently there has been the well, all over the country. It's a time of the year, isn't it, for for a little bit of sort of a scorched earth situation. But you know, you can see how much. Exactly, but you can see how green it is, even with that situation, even with the summer, you know, not finished in the sense of it hasn't rains haven't come yet. You just see how green the whole land is. There's so much greenery, you know, figs,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And I'll take you in here. This is one of the ruins. I can take you through the back. You'll hear, hopefully, the sound of the waterfall.
The waterfall on the property that you can hear through the window.
Yes, exactly. Nice. There we go. And there it is. Look, can you sit down there? I'm not sure how close you get to that.
I can't hear it at the moment, but
take your word for that. Yeah. I mean, it's like absolutely gorgeous down there.
So that could be your view of your office, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right. Very nice. Okay,
this has been done well, and you can see the pointing's been done, and you've got the cable. It's got to a good state with things like, you know, oops, a bit dark there, like the new box put in, and the chasing for the wires and lighting over there.
Okay, so some of the hard work has been done in that regard.
Exactly. Yeah, a good amount of money has been spent on these two properties and this is very special. This just strangely, you know, without getting too architectural, but, you know, people's work on these buildings. Look at this very smooth piece of so if you come close enough to it, you can see how it's rough on the outside and smooth on the edges. This is like it's like lintels, but four around the whole window. Yeah.
Man to man, I admire your mullions this morning. Beautifully finished. Okay, excellent.
And then coming down here, we can see the Lagar, which is ahead of me there. That's the old stone building, which is absolutely massive building. Probably, I think it's something on the paper. I think it's like over 200 square meters with 2 floors.
So that could be. We've got Airbnb potential, sort of holiday home. Or family annexes as well. It's very versatile place. So 3 principal buildings: a T4 villa, the part refurbed office block, Airbnb annex of some sort, and then the Lagar. So the potential, and you would think, wouldn't you, that the local authority would be open and sensitive about this, but you could be off-grid, hydro-powered potentially from that.
Very easily. Very easily. I mean, it's like incredible. Not only the river itself runs with 2 amazingly beautiful waterfalls that most of the year are fast flowing. Right now, it's a bit more gentle, but as soon as the rains come, they're fast. It's a very main river from the nearest village. This actual property is set in a village called Castelo Novo, Newcastle. Those are English. I find that funny. But it's nothing like Newcastle as we know it, but it's like beautiful little village. It's actually one of the famous 12 aldeias de históricas, which is there's 12 villages in the area here, including Monsanto and, you know,
okay, so it's on that trust. It's in a very nice part of the world, close to Spain, of course.
Yes,
not far from Castelo Branco or Coimbra, which is going to be the next biggest principal city.
Castelo Branco. Yeah, we're in the Castelo Branco municipality. So and in Concelho, it's funny. It's in both. You know, there's a breakup. The first thing is it's a municipality. Then you get the Concelho. So we're in both of those, both Castelo Branco. And you see, look, we're just at the end of the season of the figs. Some here that's still pretty good. I might pick one to show you. There's these little black ones that are stunning, and there's little blue ones. There's little green ones up there as well. The green and black, but
love it.
Munch on that. Yeah.
Little wasp tombs. Do you know every fig has its own particular type of wasp?
Yes,
it's not any old wasp. They are matched with a particular wasp, aren't they, to make it fertilized and nice and crunchy for you to eat this morning.
Yeah. And you know what's even more mad about that, though? I'll tell you a very crazy story that I read recently about I think the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was written in an ink that comes from wasps. Like
way.
Yeah, seriously. There's a particular wasp. I think could be to do with the oak, and they grind the little oak, like they call it oak apples, aren't they? Little oak, weird sort of
the cobs. Yes,
and they grind that down, and the powder they make they obviously must have come across it accidentally. Is indelible. You know, it's like this crazy ink. When it gets wet, it gets sort of blue. and they made this ink out of that, and that's based on those wasps.
Okay. Wow, amazing. We keeping him waiting. Let's bring Barak on because he might have something to say about this. It's a lovely place for somebody with horses. Let's bring him onto the screen. Barak, sorry to keep you waiting, mate.
No worries. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good.
Good morning.
This is Carl. You're a sandwich between two Carls this morning. Which,
that's a Carl sandwich, pretty special.
That is special.
Some people would pay a lot of money for that. Now,
I think so.
Are you thinking to yourself, this is a fine place for equestrians? Would those buildings lend themselves to stabling? Is this a good place for somebody with horses? You're a horse fan, aren't you?
I don't know. I'd have to see what the back of it looks like. The front doors. You're not going to get too many horses through the front. Now, through those two green doors right behind you, yeah, probably.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. So we could
once you
ride
got
our horses. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's difficult for horses.
Yeah, horses are not real keen on stairs.
They're not loving the stairs. But if you could stable them, you could ride into Fundão. Castelo Branco is the big city. Fundão is the next one along. And of course, yes, by some people's standards, a town. By Portuguese standards, a city, of course. I'm having a little wander around the property with Carl here, but an absolutely beautiful gem of a place with a lot of potential. Not for the faint-hearted, though, right, Barak? I think you bought somewhere in Portugal, and you're thinking to yourself, "I've got a nice lot of land." You have to be careful making choices of that kind, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. We thought, oh, well, we'll just we'll buy a little place and we'll have a little bit of land. Yeah. Between the olive trees, the orange trees, and all the other fruit trees and everything else, it's a lot of work.
Yes, so you have to be ready for that, and some people really are, aren't they, Carl? They're going to come here. They can get into olive production. There are fruit trees, aren't there? There's all sorts that could be done here I think it's probably not one person. This is going to have to be a family or a community taking over this site here, right? For that sort of work and lifestyle.
Definitely, there's such potential for that. I mean, with those 5 properties. I mean, you mentioned the 3 different buildings. Actually, there's 4 buildings because, but though 2 of those that are sort of ruined and being converted, they're actually 5 separate dwellings. So you could have a very large little community here, like 5 different groups of people being here along in the main house. Maybe it could be a communal space. And yeah, there's lots of potential for that, lots of growth for sort of growing maybe an eco-tourist place or an eco development of land because obviously, well, the lady that's here actually is very interested in the permaculture philosophy and hasn't ever sprayed anything here, so it's been very clean. It's organic,
Right.
River behind me here, can somebody use as beaches on the side of the river there? Can't really see the river.
Are you going for a dip now? You've been invited to coffee at Matty's house.